Today we have with us Rushabh Turakhia, who is a Living My Promise signatory. He is a kindness ambassador. He is also a businessman and philanthropist author. I'll be taking questions from all of you. If you have any questions you want to ask related to philanthropy to Rushabh, please just add it in the comment section on Living My Promise page below the live video. I'll try to bring up those questions to Rushabh, and Rushabh will try and answer as many questions as possible. In the meanwhile, let me introduce you to Living My Promise. Inspired by Bill Gates and Warren Buffett's Giving Pledge, Living My Promise is a promise intended for ordinary Indians to donate 50% or more of their wealth to charitable causes. The idea itself is very simple. Anyone with a net worth of above rupees 1 crore can sign up and pledge to donate more than 50% of their wealth for philanthropic causes. What causes, organizations, or activities people choose to support is entirely their choice. This giving can happen either during their lifetime or in their wills. So far, we have 41 Indians who took the pledge. And if you wish to read more about the people who have signed up, please go on to our website, www.livingmypromise.org. Yeah. So let's get started. And thank you, Rishabh, for having with us today. Thank you for having here today with us. And here's the first question that we have. Tell us a little bit about the causes you support, especially Your Turn Now, and any other causes that you support along with this. Also, how did you decide upon supporting some of these causes?
Okay, so let me start where it starts from. It starts from Your Turn Now. So basically, Your Turn Now is a movement. It's a now global movement which is started almost 10. Okay, Your Turn Now is a global movement which started almost 10 years back, and more than 10 years back now, December 2009. And it's basically this little blue card. If you see, which says Your Turn Now. It says someone did a little nameless act of kindness that touched your heart. Now it's your turn to multiply this feeling. Be there for someone and pass on this card. So this is the card you give it to someone when you are kind to them. So when I started in December 2009 with a target of say 5,000 cards to be printed in a year and 5,000 kind deeds to be done and asking it to be paid forward, I didn't know it would grow so big. And as on date, more than 500,000 cards are out in 46 countries now. And these cards are available in English, Hindi, French, German, Spanish, Mandarin, international 10 languages. And movement has picked up and it's going places. Regarding supporting the other causes, there are many other causes which I support. I mean, besides Your Turn Now, I'm also part of, I'm also trustee of Anybody Can Help. When we do all relief work, all basically when there is natural calamities like Kerala floods or the Chennai floods, Nepal earthquake, or the Latur drought, or Uttarakhand. So anywhere there is a big scale requirement, so that's where Anybody Can Help works. I'm also part of Ahimsa, where we take care of stray animals. So any stray animals with diseases or road accidents, they come to us and we treat them. So as on date also, we'll have at the hospital, we have around 250 dogs, 150 cats, 175 pigeons. And that's three which I'm currently looking at. Plus, I'm also on the board of another four, NGOs, which is run by group of people, the group of ladies or group of friends, college friends who come together. So helping them, take it forward, their causes. So there's no specific thing. So there's also could be a cancer also, because see, there's so much to do. There's so much. It's just not women empowerment or education or girls education, or there's cancer patients. There is annual rights thing. I mean, there's so much to do. So wherever, see, basically where it all started from being kind. Your Turn Now is a kindness movement.
Yeah.
So anywhere where I get a chance where I'm being kind to someone, it could be also being kind to environment. Like I'm thinking of planting some thousands of trees now. So anywhere where there's being kind to anything, like we've even started making cotton bags.
Mhm.
That's just being kind to environment. So ban plastic. So supporting the ban plastic, it's taking distributing cotton bags free of cost to people so that they stop using plastic. So that's being kindness to environment. So that's what basically anything which is related kindness, I'm part of it. There's no specific causes.
So kindness is the main factor that helps you choose the causes that you work on.
Hi, Venkat.
Yeah. Also, how did you arrive at the decision to become a signatory for Living My Promise?
So I follow Amit Chandra. So on Amit Chandra's Facebook post, he had posted about this Living My Promise, and it took me a second to decide, and I just commented on his post that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a second to decide, but naturally you have to take permission of your family before doing this because it's a big step. So that night over the dinner table, I asked my wife and my son. My son was like me, impromptu. He's like, "Yes, do it." And my wife is like, "Oh, but mera kya hoga?" And that's but natural. It has to come. So after explaining the whole thing to her, and then finally she also agreed to it.
Uh, so, what are some of the goals you plan to achieve by pledging your wealth for philanthropy?
See, I told you like there's so much to do, so much to do. I mean, there are like thousands of NGOs in India across the world who are doing so many things. But I think demand is 1,000% more than what the supply is, and still it is not getting fulfilled. For me, it's like whatever bit I can do it, and it could be as I said, any causes. Like with your turn now, I have been working with even soldiers. I have been working with cancer patients. I have been working with stray animals. I have been working with uh, different other causes. But then whatever thing which I can do, see, you come here, you get this one life. Whatever it's in between, it's how it is. Otherwise, you have to leave everything. You don't take anything with you. So I've even donated all my organs also in one of my pledges where I'm also an organ donor.
Yes.
So after doing that, I felt now when you go to a crematorium when someone dies and you go to crematorium, you see that this guy, whoever he is, however rich he is, in the end, there's nothing he takes along with. So the focus would be is right now to make my son responsible enough so that he doesn't have to rely on me, and then I make my wife also secure enough that she doesn't feel that I've given everything to charity. So basically, after making both of them secure, the rest goes to charity or to various causes. And I would like to tell all those people also who are thinking of being part of it that I think everyone should do a bit of it. In fact, when I go to colleges and schools, not even school, but colleges, I go to management schools, when I give talks, I tell them that whatever you start earning from the day one, start giving 10% back to society.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you will learn. When you give 10% back to society, that humility will come to you. You go down, however big you grow. See what happens is when you grow, when you make money, and it goes sometimes people it goes overboard, right? So you don't understand what is the reality of life. So that's how start giving at the very young age, even at the very age. And nowadays, so kids start working at 18, 19, also 16, 17 years they start working. I tell them, start with 10% at least, and then you see how you can increase it.
Yeah. For the viewers who are watching this Facebook live session with Rushabh, please post your questions on the comment section in this video on Living My Promise page. I'll be taking up those questions and I'll ask Rushabh. Please feel free to comment. Rushabh, can you tell me some stories of how your turn now kind of inspire other people? Can you give us some inspiring story?
Okay, let me tell you. So I go to different schools, colleges, corporates, Rotary Club, Lions Club. I give talk about your turn now and the kindness workshop. So I do keep doing kindness workshop, and I tell them the real stories of how people have been using this card and taking it forward. So when I used to show them, I used to show them kindness videos also. So earlier when I used to show them videos, majorly there were no videos made in India. Mm-hmm. Whatever videos you see of kindness are either made in UK or US. So when I used to go to villages they used to shut down after seeing there's a song playing which is in English. Though the song didn't mean anything to them, the point was to show that kind act. So that's when I made a 40 acts of kindness video, which is made in India, made by me, and that video went viral. It is a 40 random acts of kindness. In that, I have shown 40 different acts at how you can make someone smile. It could be giving a bottled water to policeman. It could be giving something for animals, vitamin medicine for animals. It could be giving something more besides tip to the waiter. It could be having a early morning breakfast with senior citizen at Nanani Park. It could be, and then the last one is where I've donated. So that video went on viral, and because of that, I had done that on my 40th birthday, and because of that, I am getting call almost every week. I'm getting 2 or 3 calls of people asking that how I can celebrate my 40th birthday or second birthday or my child's 5th birthday. I want to do 5 good things. Which are 5 good things I can do? Or even the 50th birthday. I know someone who wanted to work for 50 NGOs one day volunteering wanted to do after on her 50th birthday. So there are people who are getting inspired. Like people say, "Arey, whatever you do, why you have to why you have to post it on Facebook?" So my simple thing is like they say, earlier days it was like left hand करता है तो right hand को भी पता नहीं चलना चाहिए. If you're donating by right hand, your left hand also should not know. But nowadays everything is, why would you want to put it on Facebook or on social media? My only thing is, I'm not boasting what I'm doing, but I know down the line, 10 years of experience, that it is inspiring people. There are thousands of people who I know who have called me personally or messaged me personally that they have done certain work after seeing my post, or they even then think of, oh, this idea, this could be such a simple thing which I could do to make someone smile. For me, philanthropy is not just always money, it's also time. Right? Money is today, you can earn, tomorrow it's not there, but time, it's gone, it's gone. It's like how much time you give also to society. For me, every day 4 to 5 hours goes into my social work every single day. So that's how I know, how important it is to give back to society. The more you invest, the money automatically follows, and when your intentions are clear, it happens automatically.
Yeah. For viewers watching the video, I would request you to, ask your questions in the comment section below on Living My Promise page, and Rushabh will be happy to take some of your questions and answer them. Rushabh, it is very interesting that your son has readily agreed, and was into this when you said that you're going to take up this pledge. But many families have this insecurity about, their child's future. If I do philanthropy, what about my child? Did you have any such insecurities, any apprehensions before signing up Living My Promise?
Like I told, it was an instant decision, but it's like anything nowadays, anything kind thing happening, I'm like, okay, I'm in, whatever the project is. Regarding my son, I think he's matured enough at his age of, he's 15 now, that time he was 14. But he's very well, he's clear that, okay, what I'm doing, he knows what I'm doing. And sometimes he explains to my wife, why he's doing, what is he doing. And he's confident about himself. As a father, my responsibility is to give him education and life skills which can help him grow on his own. And like, it's here in India where you still stay together. Now in US, as far as what I know is, once you turn 18, you are on your own. You have your own house, you do everything on your own.
Yes.
Here it is different, but at least you make them sustainable itself, that they will survive on their own, they will thrive on their own, and they make their own money. So then that should not be a problem.
Yeah. Are you not worried that committing your wealth for philanthropy might leave your family vulnerable?
No, I don't think so, because I still have a very long life. It's 85 plus I have to do, because I have so much work to do. With this Yotanda movement, I have to reach 7.7 billion people. So I have a long way to go. And I think when your intentions are good, my wife believes in God. If my intentions are good, God will provide. There's no way. It comes. Even if I pick up any charity project, like say the project would be of say 10 lakhs, and I might not even have 50,000 in my pocket, but then it happens. It comes from somewhere or other. So everything will fall in place. Everything happens for the best.
Yeah. So, most people believe that talking about one's giving in public is showing off, right? Like you said, the right hand, jo karta hai, left hand ko pata nahi chalna hai. And also culturally, they think it's inappropriate. How do you feel about this? How do you kind of
culturally inappropriate?
to share about their giving, right? Like, if I'm donating someone, they want to keep it a secret. They do not want to let others know.
You just read sometime back that Living My Promise was inspired by Bill Gates and Warren Buffett.
Yes.
If Bill Gates and Warren Buffett wouldn't have shared, Living My Promise wouldn't have even thought of coming. So it's because these people are sharing it, people are getting inspired. It's how you look. It's your perception. See, if you're negative, you're going to think about show off. Right? But if you're genuinely doing it, and then why you should not show it? Because that inspires. Why? What is TED Talk? You go there to listen to people's stories. They are not bragging about it. It's a real story. You get inspired, and then what you learn from it and you take it, right? It's all about getting inspired, making people understand that, okay, this is something which is very simple. It's not so difficult. It is something which everyone can do it.
Yeah.
Like just imagine giving a bottle of water to a traffic policeman. Now that video went viral. Now it's such a simple thing.
Yes.
Right. You just give him a water bottle and you make him smile at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So it's there's certain thing which you don't even realize. Oh, this even I can do it. This even I have 2 books based on your turn now. Both the books have been bestsellers. In that book there are stories. In that book there are stories where a 5-year-old has done something, which is such a small thing, but a person gets inspired.
Yeah.
The next time you'll be okay. Even I can do it. So even those books, which have been recently there was a survey where worldwide there were 8 books chosen, which are based on peace and kindness. One book was Your Turn Now.
Wow, it's amazing.
So it's that book which is making people think. So I have people who will call me. I have kids who call me. Uncle, this is what I did. They call me kindness uncle. Uncle, this is what we have done with the. This is I helped my fellow classmate who'd fallen down. I gave him a band-aid. See, this small things create a bigger impact in that child's life in a long way. They will remember this. Or even maybe for a few months or few years, if they remember that few years, they are making someone smile. And that's also a kind of a charity. It's kind of a philanthropy wherein you are seeding that thing in that child's mind that, this is what it is, this is what you can do. Like I said, my philanthropy is not always about money, it's also about time.
Yes, absolutely. We have a question from Amit Chandra. He's asking you what motivated you to get started.
Oh, there are a couple of things, Amit. Maybe it was the upbringing. My grandfather was a big philanthropist, and I have always heard his stories that how he, and till date, he passed away almost 35, 40 years back, but till date there are people who still remember him and his stories of how he used to donate at that point of time. And also maybe the books which I read in my while I was child. And then there was also a movie called Pay It Forward, which helped me. I think there are various factors which make you become what you are today. It's not just kind of like people used to tell me, so what wrong thing has happened with you? Kuch to bura hua hoga, jiske liye wajah se, there are people who like, okay, there's someone in the family who's gone through cancer, then you open a cancer hospital. There are people who do like that. But for me, it was not like that. I think my awareness was in such a high level that I didn't have to wait for that wrong thing to happen to me to start something. It just happened and things started falling in place. I mean, there were issues because at such a young age you were supposed to focus on your business, coming from a business family and not on the charitable things. But then I think things fall in place, and it's been 10 years. It's been non-stop journey, and my target is, like I said, 7.7 billion people. So it's on the way.
For those of you watching, I would request you to post your questions in the comment section on Living My Promise page. Thank you. And we have next question. Again, how did you convince your family about joining it? It seems like it is very easy for you, but I'm sure many of us have that barrier. People who want to sign up, as a barrier in convincing their family. So what did you do to convince your family?
See, when you give them the assurance and they trust your assurance, when they know what are you doing and how is it happening, I think it's easy. I mean, it's not so easy also. Like if you are the only earning member in the family, then it's not so easy also. But give them assurance that this is what is for you, and this is just the 50% we've committed right now. There is no compulsion to go beyond 50%. If you want, you can go. I mean, there are people like Amit who are like 80-85% they're doing right now also. But so you still have long life here, and you can give back. You in the end, you're not taking anything up.
Yeah.
So why not? And if you have made your next generation capable enough to look for their own money or make their own money, then I think you should go about it. Or at least start now. If you don't want to commit 50%, now start with the 10, 20, 30% right now. As it is 30% you give to government of India as a income tax. Start that now. Start with the 10 to 20%, then it becomes very easy. Year on year, you keep on increasing. It's like, like boon boon se bharta hai sagar. Like thoda karke you do it, and then you will get into that flow, and that becomes very easy. And then once you understand the philosophy, like Gita says, कर्म कर फल की चिंता मत कर.
Hmm.
So just do it. और तू क्या लेके आया तू क्या लेके जाएगा. It's like that. Nothing is whatever it is all. If you like sometimes even I think if you see yourself. Like I saw a video wherein you see yourself. We are sitting here at this place, and then you zoom it up. Then you're sitting in Bombay, like Google Maps. You zoom it up. You're sitting in India. You zoom it up. You're sitting on Asia and the planet Earth. Then zoom it up in the universe, and what you are, you're just a small dot.
Yes.
So why that ego that this is my money? Why that ego this I am something? You are nothing compared to the whole universe. Give it back.
That's fantastic. What you just said. So some of us are considering signing up to Living My Promise, but are not yet 100% sure, right? What is your advice to people like those?
What is stopping you? I mean, if you're considering, even if you have got a thought, means there is something you want to give, right? So why you want to even just give it? I mean, like just dive into it. You'll learn swimming automatically. It's very simple. It's very shallow water. You don't have to worry. It's not deep there down. You don't have to think so much. Just give your commitment and then work towards it. Sometimes it could be ulta also, right? You set a target and you work towards it. You give your commitment that you want to give your 50%, and then you work towards it. That how other 50% would be enough for your family, and next the balance 50% you can give easily for child to start with.
Yeah. For viewers who are watching this video, I would request you to please, ask your questions in the comment section below. The interesting thing is, your child is also very much involved in, acts of kindness. And you also work with a lot of schools, a lot of colleges, children. How do we inculcate this empathy, empathy building activities? What should parents do to their children, like, ask their children to do, kind of to inculcate that habit of empathy and start giving early? What are some of the practical ways that
I think when I go to the schools and colleges and when I talk to these kids, they all are actually empty. Problem is nowadays with the parents. Coming back, I mean, I'm not blaming the corporate culture, but coming from not the corporate culture, but the competitiveness. The parents nowadays will want their kids to be kind. They want their kids to be, obedient. They want their kids to be respectful. But at the same time, the same parents would be shouting at their driver, shouting at their mates. The kids, they learn observing you, not by listening to your lectures, right? So if you are kind in front of them to others, they automatically. I have known parents who have been following this your turn now thing, and they see to it that every week or every once in 15 days they make a kind act do. They make their child do one act of kindness, a random act of kindness. So these are the values which are to be inculcated at home. The school also plays an important role, but at the same time, parents are like school will teach you to be empathetic. But what happens in at home? There's a different environment, right? And then also there are times where this kids needs to be taught in such a way that it is not like it's not like teachery. It's not like the teachery way. It's like you just go and you actually go and perform that act. And it's there. Everyone's DNA. You have that kind of thing. It's just that we need to tap it. For me, this card works like tapping. Like you may be kind, but because of this midlife crisis, job issues, this thing, would have forgotten. But once I'm giving you this card, I meet you at maybe at railway station and I'll help you with something, and I give you this card that will make you think. See, everyone is kind. See, I'll tell you now, the other name for human being is mankind. So man was supposed to be kind. That's why it was called mankind. But because of this warlike situation and competitiveness, man and kind has separated. So my intention with your turn now is to bring that mankind together. That is the main thing.
Yeah. So Amit Chandra asked you, given you have worked with thousands of people, what is your view? Will our generation convince children to be kinder, or will our children convince us to become kinder?
Like I said, Amit, the generation which comes, they are very kind, they are very empathetic. It's this mid generation, the parents, there where we need to work. It's that place. You won't believe I got a call from one of the fathers. He's like, I don't know what you teach this kid at school, and my daughter wants me to put plastic bottles, bottled waters in my car so I can give it every every traffic signal. That's spoiling my car. Now, this was the response from a father. Now I don't know how can I teach that child when the father is saying my car is getting spoiled because of the water bottle. I don't think that that's an excuse enough to spread someone to spread a smile. But then I get a call from I get a mail from this kids where uncle, I wanted to do certain thing and my father or my mom didn't allow me to do it, which was a genuine kind act, which could have helped them change. So and plus nowadays even school like if you see IB international school even the ICSE school they have this program of giving back to society. It's called the CASH program, Community Act Service, wherein they are being taught to do an activity for 1-2 years in the school and they get marks or points for that. See, maybe there are few kids who would be doing only for the marks, but at least that is making them think. There are kids that you see nowadays, they are 14 or 15 year old who are doing lots of good deeds also.
Yeah.
And they're actually impacting environment, impacting change. See, they all want to work. In the end, it is this generation above them. Like climate change, I mean, if you see environment problems, climate changes, it is the politician who have to work without being selfish and work on the environment. Otherwise, what are we going to leave for these kids down the lane? They're not going to even see a good climatic conditions also. So it's we who need to change, and otherwise kids they are lovely, they are born kind.
Yeah. So yeah, kids are born kind. Venkat Krishna has a question for you. Many people do lots of small acts of kindness, but they will together add up to less than 1-2% of their income or wealth. Others do it only rarely, but give much bigger percent of their wealth. Which of this is more impactful according to you?
I think everyone giving a bit makes a difference. Everyone should give that bit to make a difference. See, for me, Venkat, it's very easy to sign up a check and give for a charity. It's when you yourself go down the lane and do that work along with your volunteers. That's when you make the impact. See, it's very easy. Okay, okay. Like I have friends because I keep on doing so many projects. So I have friends who's like, "Why सब पुण्य तू क्यों कमाता है? हमको भी कमाने दे. तो खाली पैसा ले लो मुझे." So the point is, it's very easy. Like I said, if you are earning like thousands of crores and then you want to just give that 1 crore, it could be very easy for you to just write down the check. The point is, you set an example by actually making that movement, going down, speaking to the people, doing that volunteering work yourself along with your team, and then it makes a huge difference. So even if a bit, even like there are offices who give if free, I mean paid voluntary day, wherein you go out and volunteer for something and you'll be paid, won't be a leave. So this is what kind of culture needs to be involved in. It has to be inculcated in all the offices. When you go out, do that act of kindness or do that volunteering work, you start. And I've been working with many such companies, and I've seen those guys who are genuinely want to work. They just don't come, because they get a paid leave, but they actually come and work for it. So there are so many who want to work, but maybe because of their job timings or the constraints of because it's Monday to Saturday of the job, they can't come out. When you give them such chance, they all want to do it. So that thing needs to be inculcated with everyone, be it 1%, 2%. Start increasing that 1%. Yes, I agree completely. There are people who like, "अरे मैं बहुत charity करता हूँ," but actually income के सामने 1% भी नहीं आता. That's true.
For viewers watching us, I think Rushabh has some amazing insights into kindness, acts of kindness and philanthropy. I would request you to please ask a question in the comment section, and Rushabh will be more than happy to answer this. Please make use of this opportunity. Rushabh, you are committing 50% of your wealth, right? How do you kind of plan on giving this? Have you operationalized? How do you kind of look forward? What causes? How do you plan to do this going forward?
So I haven't, as of now, nothing planned because I've been on this social path already and been doing it since 10 years now. Planning is, like I said, there are various causes. There's so much to do. But yeah, once I think couple of years down the line, or I'll be jotting it down once I'm clear, this is what I want to work for. It could be anything. There's nothing particular. But and then I'll leave to my son also. He can also decide what he wants to do with that money. And he can also take it because I'm sure he's more mature than me and he knows what I would like. Then he will take the call. That way he'll also get into the mode of giving back to society. He's already there, but he will decide what he wants to do. I'm sure he's going to make a good judgment for that.
Yeah. I have another question for you. Many people are cynical about philanthropy. they think, what will philanthropy achieve? Okay, philanthropy might not achieve enough. But what do you think? Does philanthropy actually, is it solving any problems out there? Uh, what do you have to say about that?
What will philanthropy achieve? Like I said, there's a huge problem, but there's a huge demand. I mean, there's so many NGOs, thousands of NGOs doing various works, amazing works. Recently, I was one of the award function, and when I went there, I saw there are so many people doing so many beautiful things, but still, there's so much of poverty, there's so much of problems, there's so much of illiterate people, there's so many illiterate people, but it works in the end. Philanthropy doesn't go waste, even if it is for that day. You should do it. Even if it's making someone smile for that single day, you should do it. Why you would not do? Just imagine right now this Australia bushfire is happening, right? The people, I've seen videos where people are saving koala bears, right?
Yeah.
Kangaroos.
Yes.
I mean, how does that matter? Is that the koala bear going to pay you back? But no, it's also kind of philanthropy, right? It's an activity where you are saving that someone's life. Right, and I have seen videos where people are giving them water, feeding them water. So that's something which takes you ahead. I don't know, I don't drink, but the kick which you get after you drink, that philanthropy gives you that kick. You're always on high.
Is it?
Yeah. Try that. I mean, you go out and do a charity, and you see. In fact, where I have a topic on where kindness leads to upliftment of mental health. So my request is generally in that kind of workshop is, if you are low, if you are sad, if you are depressed, go out and do a kind act, go out and do a philanthropy act, and you will see you automatically your mood will be up.
Yeah.
Try that, anytime. I'll tell the viewers, if you ever feel, you're down, you had a fight with your spouse, or you had something at the office, just go out and do a kind act, and you see that it's going to uplift your mood also, your mental health will increase.
That's a good coping mechanism and strategy for you to kind of overcome any negativity in your lives. I do remember, like, last one of the time that I met you and you gave me this card. The very next day I went to buy a plant with a gardener, and I was bargaining, but I just thought, it made me think, and I said, no, do I bargain from this kid who is not in school and trying hard to make a living? And I just did not take back the change, whatever it was. I paid him double of what he asked. So it does really give me a lot of feeling good about myself of what I did, and I agree with you. So philanthropy also has the same kick as alcohol.
I'm happy and inspired you. I mean, don't compare philosophy with the alcohol. LMT guys will get it. But it is something which keeps you high.
Yeah.
It keeps you actually spirits high.
Yeah. So one other question that we have is, one of India's dollar billionaires, net worth greater than rupees 30,000 crores, told that they're very kind and help lots of poor people directly. That they give rupees 5 to 10,000 to 30 to 40 people every year. Does this qualify as a kind person according to you? So someone with a net worth of about 30,000 crores is giving 5 to 10,000 to 30, 40 people every year. So does this qualify? I mean, does this person qualify as a kind person according to you?
Does this person qualify as a kind person? Yeah, he's a kind person, but 30,000 crores and he's just giving 5-10,000. LMP में होता तो 15,000 crore देना पड़ता उसको. But I think this all counts in the upbringing of that person.
Okay.
The upbringing of the person would have been being kind of giving back. See, if you see, I forget, I'm not talking about religion, but every religion has this rule of giving back.
Yes.
Even Muslims have during the Ramzan, and even the Hindus have Shravan Mahina, even the Jains have during their festival. In fact, I've seen Jains giving out. The Swaminarayans, they give out more. Bodhis, they give out more. There are people who give out, right? But then you need to know, even if you are no religion or you're not religion, I mean, religious or non-religious, this is something beyond that. For me, kindness is the only religion. I don't believe in any. By default, I would be whatever I would have taken birth in. But for me, the kindness is the only religion, should be the only religion to stop all the problems that we have in the world. And even if by doing that also, it is being kind to the whole mankind, the whole universe, basically.
That is a very beautiful thought when you say that kindness should be the only religion. Especially when we see a lot of conflict happening between identities, around identity. Amit Chandra has a question for you. He's asking, what is the most amazing story of kindness you have experienced during your journey?
Oh my God, there are thousands of stories. Amit, it's as small as helping someone to pick up the bags, and there I have got stories where people have helped someone who was. Yeah, I know about a story from Nasik where this guy was sitting alone and on the bridge on the Nasik, and this another guy just went and spoke to him for half an hour. And after half an hour, he just said, I was just thinking of jumping off this bridge, but I think by just talking to you, I think came out and I've given up that idea. So, that guy's intention was to just go and listen to him. And that was saving a life. And saving a life means a lot to that person and as well as the whole family. So, I mean, like I said, there are thousands of stories, but this is one story, it's like when I started, I never imagined that this small card could actually save life. And then there are, but naturally, this 40 acts of kindness video, which has gone viral, which has started making people think that this is how I can take it forward. So it's the thanks to I too totally thank to social media. Though people are saying that social media is bad, for me the social media has been used to the fullest advantage, where it has helped me to reach places where I couldn't go. Like this movement has reached 46 countries thanks to social media, and it is helping. It is inspiring people. Okay, yeah, even I can do that. So there are like thousands of stories of it, but the one is like, which I mean, coming right was this story from Nasik where you helped someone and saved his life.
Yeah. For the viewers who are watching, Rushabh is available for another 20 minutes. Please comment in the comment section on Living My Promise page. He'll be happy to take your questions. Rushabh, you have experience in building, a movement like your turn now, where millions of acts of kindness has happened. But when it comes to Living My Promise, we are like 41 signatories so far. How do we kind of build a movement? How do we get more people to commit a significant portion of their wealth for philanthropic causes? What do you think we should do?
I think I don't know why people are hesitating. See, Living My Promise is a moral commitment of yours to do it. Say maybe one day, say a year down the line, we have 100 LMP signatories. Two may not do it eventually. Okay, two may not do it eventually, but at least that seeing those two, there would be another 10 who would have got inspired and they would do it. Right? Maybe those two must have got some genuine problem and they might not do it because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? But then why? Why would you do? I mean, I've been talking to you since a couple of months now, and you said there are people lined up. But I was thinking that why would people? I mean, this is a decision you are. You want it or you don't want it. It's not midway that I try to sign and nothing like that. It's either you do it or you don't do it. And if you're not doing it, say no. And if you're doing it, then commit that how I'm going to work towards it. It's like it's like a sales target for a person. Like say this month or this year we want to achieve so much sales. So everybody works toward it. Commit yourself and works toward it. My suggestion is that commit and you work towards that. How you going to give that 50% after giving 50% security for your family? Work towards it. And it's been my experience since 10 years. When your intentions are good, you believe in God or not, or you believe in universe or whichever power, it happens.
Yeah.
So there is some force which makes you do it. So just do it. Just sign it.
Yeah. I mean, in acts of charity and philanthropy, people sometimes have this, misconceptions that a lot of this money that you're giving for as donation is not being utilized properly, or misused. This sort of concern many people have. Do you think what do you have to say on that? Like, is it true or like?
See, yes, I agree to a certain point. Yes, there are certain times where you don't know where your money is going, right? And then you are like, okay, I'm giving this money, but what are they doing with my money? So what I have done for myself this last 10 years, I have seen that whenever I am doing a charity or whenever I have collected money for charity, I would see to that I'll go personally over there and that money is used in front of me. It might not be possible for everyone to do that, but at least there are these genuine organizations who are crazily working, doing genuine good work. Identify those, and then you give them. If you don't know, there would be friends around. See, if once or twice you meet those founders and trustees, you will come to know how genuine they are. And I would always, my another suggestion always is, don't go and fund because everybody is funding that organization. See, there are certain organizations who are getting money in thousands of crores. They're getting crores of money in philanthropy. I don't know what they're doing with it or how they're because once you're small, you manage it, but once you grow bigger, it's difficult to manage certain times. If you don't have the right people sitting there managing your money, it might go waste or it might be sitting in the fixed deposits in the bank of that organization of that trust. So my whether is start with the small ones who are doing genuine work. There are people who are actually there who want money and give them start and see. So 1 2 times go with them, see how they're working, and you'll come to know. It's very easy to judge people who are actually doing, and generally they are doing. I mean, there are this 2 3% who are bad people, but for that you can't blame the whole the whole thing over there.
Yeah, true. We have one more question for you. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? What do you do for a living? Does your profession job encourage you to be like this?
Okay, so when I talk about myself, first thing is seriously. So, okay, I'm into business of diamonds and basically solitaires, big stones. And when I tell people, "Acha, diamond wala अच्छा काम भी करते हैं," I mean like, oh my God, what do you mean diamond wala अच्छे काम नहीं करते? I mean, so I went for a TED talk and I was introduced as a diamond person. So I said, okay, here I'm not going to talk about the famous K Kohinoor, but I'm going to talk about the famous K kindness. So that was my starting line over there. And being a diamond merchant, it's not what profession you are, it's basically upbringing. It's how you've been brought up and how your parents have been, how your grandparents have been, how the family condition has been. There are certain people like, अच्छा ठीक है तेरे पास पैसा है ना इससे तू करता रहेगा. Like recently I met someone, okay अच्छा diamond वाला है ना इससे तू ये सब काम कर सकते हैं. It's not like that. I have known people who are earning 15 20,000 and they're also doing good enough charitable work, not maybe money wise but time wise. So it's not that whatever business you are, whatever profession doesn't affect you directly, but yeah, there are certain professions which might not work with the being kind to people around. So, but I think being a diamond merchant, and thanks to my brother who is handling the business, I am able to do this. My father was there; both of them used to handle the business, and I am part of it. But they are the main face of the business, and because of them even and they give me that morning generally I 11 to 6 I see to that I'm at work, and before I finish all my charitable work before 11 or post 6, so it's becomes easy also at the same time.
Yeah. We have another question from Anupama Dalmia. She's asking, a lot of people say that kindness is for the rich and those who are privileged. Did you ever come across any situation or incident when someone less privileged performed an act of kindness?
Thank you, Anupama. I think with your turn now, it's not always been the rich and the famous who are doing the act of kindness. The famous people just put it on the social media to get the likes, but there are thousands of people who do lots of kind act. If you see, I don't know, there are many videos which go viral wherein you see a homeless people who's just got food, homeless guy, and a dog comes nearby. The homeless guy will share with the dog. And at the same time, the rich guy will say, "Chal hat." It's like that. Sorry, but it like just shoo away that dog. But so there's nothing. It's all in the mind. Whatever you have, you can share with people. I think in fact rich should share more because they know how they have made money, how they can make more money. In fact.